This meeting is being recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome to the 9th panel of Odyssey cinema season in the UK. So this is a one-month film festival, hybrid film festival organized by UK-China Film Club in the UK with over 60 films, 10 industry-focused panel, many exclusive Q&As. We still have 2 days for the festival, today, including today. It finishes tomorrow. So if you haven't seen some of our films, or maybe haven't caught up with some of our panels recording, please do visit our website, the Odyssey website, as well as UK-China Film Club's website. So my name is Human Chan. I am the founder and director of UK-China Film Club, the presenter of the Odyssey Chinese cinema season. And today's panel, we're going to focus on new business ideas and model for UK-China film collaboration. And we are very pleased to have our panelists with us today is Dr. Xiaosong Yang from the National Center for Computer Animation, Bournemouth University. Dr. Yang has over 30 years experience of research, education, and professional practice in computer animation. And he is passionate to promote technical innovation of AI in media production. Dr. Yang has rich experiences in managing teams with both artists and technicians together, and he collaborates closely with companies such as Disney Research, Double Negative, which is DNEG, who also we have some guests over for our panel too. He has produced over 90 peer-reviewed publications, very jealous, Dr. Yang, including many in prestigious journals and conferences. His work has been well reported by some of the most prestigious international news outlets, including New Scientist, the MIT Technology Review, and so on. He has recently secured research grants from European Commission, the Arts and Humanities Research Council, British Academy, Newton Fund, Innovate UK, and many more funders. Dr. Yang's excellent performance has helped NCCA, which is the National Center for Computer Animation at the Bournemouth University, to win the Queen's Anniversary Prizes in 2011. So Dr. Yang here is with us today to introduce one of his latest AHRC funded projects called the UK-China Research and Innovation Collaboration in Cloud-Based Virtual Film Production. And this is the theme of today's panel, as we have identified one of the new opportunity and ideas for collaboration between the UK and China in the film area is virtual film production. And we also have our second panelist with us today is Dr. Pearl Haoqing Wang. Dr. Wang is the director of the Center for Global Cooperation and Education Development of USC SJTU, which is Shanghai Jiao Tong University, and the Institute of Cultural and Creative Industries. She's also the deputy director of the Global Communication Research Institute of Shanghai Jiao Tong University in China. After joining the university in 2016, Dr. Wang began to focus on virtual content production and started to teach courses on VR creative and production, virtual content creative and applications, and many more. As an exhibition curator, so Dr. Yang specializes in exhibition. She has been active in organizing public exhibitions to promote the public education of creative technology. She's the China PI, the China Principal Investigator for the research project that I mentioned earlier on, funded by the AHRC, focusing on virtual cloud production. She's also the China PI for another AHRC project called Immersive, Innovative and Interactive Experiences in 2019. Dr. Wang has also served as a city-level entrepreneurship mentor in Shanghai, especially in the cultural and creative industries. She has published books about understanding Chinese entrepreneurship. So it's we're very honored to have both heavyweight panelists with us today. And I think the structure of today is that Dr. Yang and Dr. Wang, they're going to present some of their current research and collaboration with the industries. And then we have a thematic discussion. Finally, we'll open up to the audience for you to have to ask any questions that you may have. So who would you like to start first for the presentation? So Dr. Yang, okay, off to you. I think you can just share your screen.
Okay. Let me start share my screen. Can you see this?
Yes,
cool. Okay, thank you. Thanks very much for the invitation from Human. It's a big honor for us to present our work. Our project just started recently from the early this year. And hopefully today we use this opportunity to present a little bit about our research and how much of the information we already collected. So actually Professor Wang and me are in the same team together. And my background is more on R&D and in the university. And Professor Wang have more experience from the industry perspective. So I guess both of us can cover these two sides of this story. Okay, so before I start, I'd like to use just 1 or 2 minutes to introduce the background where I come from. I just found out from the chat, 1 people actually know about BU, Bournemouth University. Yeah, to be honest, I'm have a little bit concerned that not many people know about this university. So where I come from is called National Center for Communication. So the center is established about 30 years ago, 1989. And our center already ranked very top in a lot of different rankings. For example, the Animation Career Review, and we have been ranking the #1 in UK for 3 years already, and worldwide #3. And also there's another ranking is about rookies, 3Ds. It includes a subject about the game, VFX, and animation. So from that ranking, also we ranked #1 in the UK and the worldwide #9. So in the past so many years, we have already we got a lot of alumni. So every year about 150 students graduate from our center and feed into industry of the VFX of the UK and especially London. So I guess everybody probably know the London is the center for the film production and especially special effects. And some of the companies, to be honest, some of the companies, especially VFX companies, our student there's a lot of students in there. Even in some companies, there's a 30 or 40% of the staffs actually coming from our center. That's quite a lot. And also we have honors, have 2 of our previous alumni got 4 Oscars award already. So you can see the picture on the bottom left here. And our university also organized the BFX, so the special effects film festival every year in September and October. All right, and our center is the only one who got the Queen's Anniversary Award from the animation education perspective. So you can see my background and more from the R&D, from the high education institutions. So for virtual production, that's the topic I want to present today. So virtual production, so our center have been very famous, very famous from the special effects, computer animation, or even some game developments. But for virtual production, this new direction, new way to produce, make movies. So currently, our center, our staffs together, trying to make this a new Bournemouth University strategic investment area. So at the moment, our university got a 4 strategic investment area, and one of that is the animation, visualization, and simulation. So a cover of this topic here. But the virtual production, we want to put it as the new direction. We want to build a new studio. So you can see here, my background here is the place we want to put out the studio. All the device we want to put into this place. And also we want to design a new course from the virtual production. So come back to this product I want to present today. It's called UK-China Research and Innovation Collaboration in Cloud-Based Virtual Film Production. So you can see here, there's 2 important terms here. One is the virtual production, and another one is cloud-based. So a lot of things we can put on the cloud, and then we can use the cloud to remotely collaboration in the whole pipeline of the production. Okay, we are very lucky to got the funding from the AHRC this time. And here is the team. Luckily, last year, we convened this team and we worked together to put the proposal together into AHRC. And luckily, we found it. We got funded. So from the UK side, we got our university, Bournemouth University, and Durham University, and a double negative from the industry side. And from the China side, so you already see the second speaker, Professor Wang, is our China side lead of this project. So she comes from Shanghai University. And we also got some contribution from Zhejiang University and the Shanghai University, Shanghai Film Academy. And also we got a contribution from a company in Shanghai, Mirror Pictures. So later Professor Wang will present a little bit of information from them as well. Okay, so this whole project, we're trying to find out the current status of the cloud-based water production in both UK and China. So our UK team trying to investigate and trying to do some market research from UK side. And Professor Wang will lead the China team, kind of doing the research from the China side. And also we're trying to follow this kind of interviews or maybe some questionnaires. And we're trying to identify the key challenges for this kind of remote connection between the two countries. So finally, so this project kind of will last 2 years, last for 1 whole year. So start from the February this year and then end with February of next year. So after the project, our project will want to deliver, there are basically three things. One is the market research support. Okay, the second one, we want to build connections. We want to build a bridge, or we want to build a network to connect the practitioners or companies together from the both countries. And also we want to make some recommendations for the policymakers, okay, because we will identify a lot of problems. So this actually we have already seen, even in the first few months during our kind of a conversation between the two countries, we have already found out there's a lot of problems. Even the understanding about this is different, so much different in there. All right, so that is the objectives of this project. And currently we have already collected a lot of information, a lot of context from UK side and also the China side. So from the UK side, so right now we have collected about 100 people contacts already. We collected a list in there. We will try to interview people. Probably we won't have the time to interview everyone from the list, but probably the kind of key players in this field. So hopefully we get more kind of understanding from this kind of industry sector. And for today, the audience here, if some of you actually probably you were involved in this, or you are doing something for the water production, or you are about to do anything for the water production, you're welcome to contact me. So probably we can organize some kind of a online meeting. Or here I kind of highlight as a casual interviews with you guys. So we do want to hear different voice from different side of this kind of industry kind of sector. Okay, so here is my email address, and also you can follow our Twitter and also the Facebook and also my LinkedIn. So what is water production? So here is some kind of really keywords I put here, plus together. Okay, so we need to have a stage, we need to have a camera, we need to have kind of some kind of lighting control. The most important for water production, and quite different, unique compared with the traditional kind of film production, is the game engine, because all these kind of virtual asset will be kind of visualized in this use of game engine and show up on these kind of LED screens. Okay, so this kind of very narrow definition of the water production, but actually for VP, it's a huge topic. So later, probably maybe from my slides and Professor Wang's slides, you will see there's so big concept out there. So this picture actually coming from double negative. So probably you guys already know about this. So this is the very famous from 2019 SIGGRAPH conference, and Epic Games kind of present this one. This is the first time, so we can see, oh God, this is called VP kind of organize or manipulate, use the cameras and combine the real actors and the real scene and the virtual asset together. So this one is super famous already. So Mandalorian, so everyone knows about this. So this kind of was give a lot of kind of passions for everybody want to get into this kind of industry sector. So very kind of big success in this area. So you can see here behind that is LED screen, and there's a camera controls, and there's a camera tracking as well. So this is a slightly different. So we need to track where the camera is, where the oriented, where the facing at, and we can automatically change the layout of the projection of the virtual asset, virtual kind of environment onto the LED screen. So multi-production, there's so many different definitions. So interestingly, so in our first meeting between the UK side and the China side, the both sides got a different understanding about even the definition is slightly different. Everybody got a different kind of understanding about this. So we need to make sure we have the mutual connection, mutual kind of consistent understanding about this. Then we can find out, okay, which direction we need to do the research. So previous one, we will probably show you guys some of the points we have already done so far. Okay, so there's a quite big difference from the previous kind of a linear kind of pipeline for film production. So for example, use the green screen. So the actors have no idea what happened behind it. So actor or actress need to imagine, oh my God, there's something there, and there's a kind of virtual avatar there. I have to interact with this kind of virtual avatar. So the actor needs some kind of training, use their imagination to connect kind of two worlds together. And also, so the directors also try to imagine something. So for this kind of a linear kind of pipeline, only at the last stage, so after this kind of post-production, so director can see, oh, that's the result. So the problem will be, so if something not kind of ideal, then they need to come back. So maybe to the reshooting, so waste a lot of time. So right now, so you can see bottom right, this picture coming from double negative. So everything can bring into the studio at the same time. The director can see everything from the screen, from the camera. Okay, how to combine these two things together? So what's the final result? Kind of visualize very kind of lively at that time when the shooting is happened. So the original kind of linear pipeline of this kind of film production has changed quite a lot. So become this kind of a more circular in this kind of a center when we get to the stage level. So the camera, all this kind of stuff, there's a lot of stuffs will need to come on site to work together to make that happen. So you can see this kind of a super challenging task. So probably later we'll maybe also talk about how the talent will be educated, how the training will be happened to get the right people to the right place into this kind of pipeline. Okay, so there's a lot of advantage for the web production. So time and cost saving, obviously. So we don't need to travel to a kind of remote place. Okay, maybe the weather is not right, and there's a lot of cost involved in that. Also, real-time idea alteration. So we can change the idea on site. Okay, that kind of lighting is not right, so we can change immediately, right? And the enhanced visibility, like I already mentioned, the actors or actress can see something, what happened really in there. The director can see something, what happened in there. And realistic lighting and the reflection. Sorry, this point is slightly tricky right now because some people probably 2 years ago, I imagine probably we can use the LED screen to do lighting. But actually right now, there's a lot of problems for that. So actually, I think just last week, we interviewed a company called AHRC, and their company actually got a very special kind of lighting system, used a computer to control the light, kind of changing automatically, follow the virtual environment. Next one is the quick on-site transition. That's very important. So we can actually change the background. Okay, from Africa, maybe change it to Asia place or European countries. It's very easy to change. Just change the asset. Weather change. Okay, and the time of the day. I know sometimes, for example, if you want to capture the kind of a sunset, that's maybe just a half an hour gap, right? It's difficult if you shoot in the real life. But in here, it's very easy. You control the lighting, everything. Library asset is super important. And actually, that's probably one of the key business directions maybe we need to discuss later. And I know Professor Wang will also talk about on this point as well. Next one is global collaboration. So actually, because everything can virtual in there, so different teams from different countries, Canada, US, even China, and the UK. So we can actually working together. Okay, using the cloud, maybe that's one of the options. So there are so many advantages for the virtual production. And right now, UK and China has already invested quite a lot into not only the infrastructure build, but also the teams building as well. So here, actually, the UK is kind of leading the kind of a global kind of a development on the VP side. So here are some of the figures I copied from some kind of industry report. So you can see the UK has become the epicenter of the large feature film level virtual production stages. So you can see the red color highlight, UK got the 12 tier 1 stages. Okay, totally you can see the ranking of the UK is quite high. And by city, on the right hand side, the city ranking is London on the top. Okay, so you can see that UK already standing very, very kind of in the front of the whole world. Okay, so here it is some of the companies actually got to the VP studios, and the number of 150 VP studios in UK may not be accurate. We are still trying to collect more information from the companies, and we're trying to contact these companies. Probably got some kind of inside stories, inside information about how they're running their company, how they run their business about this. So some of the companies probably focus on set up the studio. Some of the company maybe focus on, okay, we will rent the studio we have already set up. Okay, and there's maybe some companies working on the camera side. Maybe there are some companies working on the LED screen side, and maybe some working on how the kind of server, the game engines running behind, how to synchronize everything, all the signals on all the screens. So you can see there's a lot of different angles, different companies contribute together into the same kind of production. So it's more complicated. Sometimes it's not easy for just one company to finish the work. Normally there's a few companies need to work together, collaborate together to finish just one kind of setup. Okay, so here is just a page to talk about a little bit about the UK side, some kind of advantage from UK side about the tax relief. So you can see here from the British, sorry, hopefully there's no messages just for me. Okay, let me carry on. So tax relief, 25% for UK qualifying expenditures. But for Chinese kind of film companies, I have already heard the same kind of question from another panel, also about the virtual production. But if you want to know more details, how the Chinese companies maybe can benefit from this kind of tax relief, maybe you need to connect with some kind of UK company first. And also the government funding. So there's a big funding coming in this year. And I guess right now it's only just the starting of that. It's called Co-Star. It's a big kind of funding invested from the government side, trying to invest to support the kind of infrastructure design, or the kind of put into development. And also immigration policies. So UK, to be honest, in the UK kind of VFX industry, there are a lot of people coming from the other countries, European countries or Asia, from the kind of American or Canada. So a lot of people kind of working, international people kind of working on the visa basis. So actually from the visa side, from UK, there's a shortage occupation list. So all the artists, not only the film artists, kind of all the artists or production role in the VFX or animation industry, kind of in this list. So it's very easy to get the visa to working in the UK side. Okay, I don't want to take too much time on this, but here I just want to finish my part of the talk, just giving the pictures about the studio we have already set up. Sorry, not this green screen, it's the picture here on the screen. So that's the kind of very small setup of this LED screen and also the cameras. And on the bottom right, that's the head of our department, giant people. So he actually kind of standing there and with the background over the kind of a spaceship. Okay, that's my part of the work, and I will pass on to my colleagues, Professor Wang.
Thank you, Dr. Yang. So we're going to now invite Professor Wang to present some of the findings and information from her side, and also her experience about the topic. So Professor Wang, if you just share your screen, click share screen, then you'll be able to.
Yeah, I shared. Can you, yeah. Does it work? I shared the screen. Okay, yes. Great. Thanks a lot, Dr. Chen, for inviting me here. This is a very exciting meeting. I think it's also thanks a lot for Dr. Yang You shared a lot about our program and about the previous jobs we have done for this research project. And since the title of today's how to say today's meeting or conference or seminar, it's give me the topic like what's the new idea of business or new business because of the new technology in the film industry. So I think I will just follow the world. The keyword is new. So my topic is really I want to share with everybody here. Let's explore what's new in the era of cloud-based virtual production. In such kind of golden time. And Dr. Yang is from kind of a background, very strong background of animation, technology. But myself, I started my career as a television producer, also like a TV journalist, and then do a variety show. In kind of a big studio doing, at that time, I think last century, we had only like 5 cameras working together to shoot a variety show. But that's the old time. And now I'm working on virtual contents production, starting from virtual reality, but also working on exhibition. I just want to say I'm not working in film industry, okay? And so this co-research project really inspired me and just lead me to kind of a new area of production. So I will say virtual production is not only limited in film production, in film industry, but also it's a pretty broad, broadly applied in different contexts. So I think that's the first thought I want to share. The first one is what's new? What is the new applications because of the technology? But when we say virtual production, I don't think it's really that new idea, that new concept. It existed for a long time. It once worked in broadcasting, also in television production, also in different contexts. Like I want to just list several. For example, like just now, Dr. Yang presented a very beautiful example, or we say it's kind of a standard setting case of Mandalorian, that's production. But in the film industry, we also have pretty bad example, like a case of we are familiar with it's also produced by Netflix, the Red Notice. And when we see high quality and low quality virtual production, we can see big difference between, big difference of the effects. So this film got a lot of complaints about its quality of virtual production. So people will say, it's virtual or fake production. You can see the background of the train. You can see the background of the famous museum. Also, you can see the background of like mountains and the seas. But they look not that high quality. So we can see the quality can be there can be a very big gap between the quality. Different qualities. So but anyway, these are for film production, and this is what I mentioned for broadcasting television, and this is for, we say in China, it's very popular. It's so like a variety show, and it's also for a very specific television program, and also for news studio. This one, for example, this is like very popular, very popular in this year's Spring Festival Gala on TV. That's our New Year party for the whole. It's national party, right? So I will stop that and then move on. Also we can apply this technology in live concerts, virtual concerts. And in this year, the New Year, I think it's I forgot. I think it's on Spring Festival. There is a famous younger singer, very young singer, together with historical icon Deng Lijun. So they produced the 3D several years ago. The Chinese audience, the production house once produced 2D Deng Lijun, but this year it's 3D. Very also they applied artificial intelligence technology to try to represent the real Deng Lijun. And also we have virtual icon, virtual idol, and virtual concerts. So that's some other context, so we can apply that virtual production. And this is for the advertisement. Yeah, and actually in the industry of advertisement production, that's probably are the most entrance, I mean, of the cash flow for many technology company nowadays in China. And then this is pretty new, but it's getting more popular. This is for live streaming, shopping, or kind of a very grassroots performance. For example, like this one, this guy is very popular. It's almost one of the most popular, electronic shopping, I mean, online shopping, star. And then he is working with kind of a virtual idol produced by a big brand. And so that's kind of a context they are working with the virtual production. So this is also another application which is more and more popular right now. And then so we also have some other, I just don't want to take too much time on listing these contexts. And then we got kind of based on these different applications, we can see a new landscape of the whole industry. So that's the industry landscape of virtual production. So we have different scenarios, application service, production pipeline, and hardware and the facilities. So we can see some companies are very branding or leading companies for a long time, existing for a long time because of their technology power, but some we can see some new faces in this new landscape. For example, like in China just now, Dr. Yang also talked about a little about the pipeline, post-production, production, pre-production, and then we have different companies entering this new market. So this is like a new landscape in China's virtual production industry. And then so the third new things we want to share based on the interviews are we find that during the past several months we interviewed almost like once a week or once 2 weeks. Then I mean the leading companies, the industry practitioners, about the future of the virtual production. So many mentioned that this is a great opportunity for some new players. So we can see a lot of new players. Also, we studied the report. I think if you're interested, we can study the report together. This is issued by Story Future Academy. It's also sponsored by AHRC. I think it's kind of a fruit of previous research projects. The report told us, also the report interviewed over 100 industry people about what kind of skills we need for the future immersive contents. And they mentioned that since the concept of virtual production is too big, so many new players, especially he mentioned that, for example, like just graduates, just interns, or very new, even probably you was never in this in film production, but because of the new technology, you can be quickly involved in this new trending industry. So I think this is kind of, we can say sometimes high technology can be a barrier for the industry entry, but sometimes also can be lower barrier because there are many niches will be appearing as kind of a new space, new segments, I mean, for some new players. And then we say, based on these, the new landscape, the new player, and also we can find that we once interviewed Ari, once also interviewed the DNAG, also interviewed some very leading companies in China in this field. They also mentioned they are enlarged, they are exploring some new scope of their business and also try to build up a kind of a new business model. For example, like when we interviewed Mr. Jia, he is in charge of global cooperation with in DNAG, in double negatives, and he mentioned that the market in UK and in China is definitely different. they can focus on, in UK, they can focus on film industry only because they got enough deal from Hollywood. They got very strong collaboration relationship with United States, especially with Hollywood. So some studios, they got long time contract, even like 5 or 10 years. They can be, these deals just satisfy their demand. But in China, it's totally a new emerging market, and they don't have so many needs for real virtual production in film industry. If they only focus on film industry, that means they will lose money. So they are trying to explore some other, especially advertisement, also broadcasting. So for them, that's a totally new market for even kind of a UK-born company. So when they enter China's market, they will change their business model. Also, we interviewed. This is China. This we can't say it's a Chinese company. The background, the founder was from Canada, so they brought all the very complete technology chain into China. But they found that also in China, the market for film production is very limited. So also they entered some other, just now I mentioned, like also they include the new market includes like a cultural and a touristic entertainment. So this is also a very big market of potential. So the other company we can see, this is very similar like AHRC, but the point is that AHRC is like a business-owned company. So when we interview them, they always emphasize that their business model is very simple. They will stick to the technology. They don't want to change the scope of their business. But in China, this is also a very vivid example, a vivid case. They started from technology providing, but they to gain more cash flow, they need to explore more application contexts. So for example, like a radio and television and digital media, and also they need to like a cultural tourism and digital art, and also they in China we have another new concept that's new retailing. It's offline retailing. So when we say new retailing, that means we have more experiential, shopping experience. The shopping should provide more, experiences for the buyers. So also they include like a live and online education market. So that's the company's transformation. About their business model. So there we have very limited time. So this one, they concluded their business scope, like a focus on, also, that company, interestingly, they also provide LED walls, and also they produce LED, and then AR, MR, so different, virtual contents production technology. And sorry. So this one is one of our partner. They are built up kind of a cloud-based virtual production. Previously, they are offering like a offline service, the whole chain service for all the production house for the film. For film industry only. And then they found that physically the space occupied a large space, that's kind of a physical space, and then they want to go online. And when they build up a kind of, we say cloud-based virtual production, they can offer kind of a service like all data can be stored in the cloud, and they can manage editing and production online. And they also can store digital assets and develop them and sell them as like a platform. And also they offer kind of a virtual talents database. So that means if you want to produce a film using a virtual production, they can help from the whole chain. Provide the whole chain service. And so this is, we say mirror pictures. This company is also our partner, research partner. And then, okay, yeah, talking about collaborations, I think that probably that's, this is kind of area we have the most new challenges. And I just listed several. And then first of all, like when we say collaboration, we mean who do what with, who do what with whom and how, right? So when we do, you apply the pipeline of virtual production, that means we collaborate between media culture and the game engine. Because the engine is from the game industry. So we need, it's kind of a cultural collaboration between media and the game. And also people, we say people need to balance their skill about the technology and also about how to do creative jobs. So sometimes we say we very much need a technical artist, but also a creative technician. So probably in the future, these two people are one. That's 2 in 1. So it's also kind of a skills collaboration. And then when we say this is just now we mentioned that the virtual production totally changed the pipeline. It's not that the linear production at all. So we need to manage the workflow. That's the people. But meanwhile, we also need to manage the data flow because everything is based on data. So. People, how to work with data as a people, I mean, and how to manage these two parallel flow when you are working with virtual production. So this is also kind of a new collaboration. And then when we say remote production, of course, that will be kind of a real time to get working together. When on this side is remote, but the other we also have on-set shooting. So how to work together and how to collaborate by like a long distance, I mean, maybe cloud-based collaboration. So, and then we say the future collaboration also, it's kind of, just now we say virtual assets, it's mostly like, mostly are digital. So the digital assets can be shared globally actually. And also, but we have a very customized contents production needs. So how to collaborate and how to balance these two different level, I mean, contents, I mean, assets. Yeah, so that's also a new challenge for the collaboration. And the last one, also mentioned by Jia Guanglei, just now we mentioned the digital assets. Several like Epic Games, the Unreal Engine, they have a large library of assets, right? And many, in China, there are at least 4 or 5 big investors are willing to invest a global scale, like a platform of digital assets, like a library. So that's another new challenges, right? Another new challenge. It's we can see everyone can contribute digital assets, and the crew can find assets by global sourcing. But Mr. Jia raised a question about what is the standard, what is the global standard for the whole industry to manage the qualities of these assets. This is also kind of a challenge of the global collaboration. And we say also our project want to, I think the mission, the very ambitious mission is to find or to propose some good policy for the 2 countries government trying to promote more collaboration between 2 countries. But the other point is that that's very official level. But for grassroots level, we can see the platform will be very shared, very grassroots, very crowdsourcing, and very global, globally accessed. So we also have kind of new challenge between these 2 types of collaboration. And then, of course, every time when we interview different experts, including industrial professionals, everyone will mention that we are in lack of skills. We are really have a challenge, of the skill shortage and the people shortage. So what kind of new skills we need? There are many reports about that, so I don't want to repeat them. I just want to focus on one thing. If you want to be the most wanted people, you need to manage the collaboration. That's why I listed parallel different different sides of the collaboration. So if you can manage them, if you can integrate different things together, and if you can manage them, integrate them at real time, you will be superstar. You will be the people who is the most wanted. So I think that's the talent we really need. And then as we all from education, university. So as an educator, I think here educator not only university or in educational institution, but also include like industry, right? We need to co-work together, the university and the education institutions and the industry. We need to work together to shorten to shorten the gap and to the distance between the real practice and the dream technology, right? So as an educator, we think probably in the future, our education should be more cross-discipline, cross-culture, and even cross-universe in such kind of a metaverse time. So yeah, sorry, I think maybe the time I take too much time. That's all my presentation, and very happy to share. We are still on the way, so it's just quickly briefly share with guys what we are doing right now. Okay, thank you. So shall I?
Thank you, Professor Wang. Yeah, I think you can finish the share screen, and then we can come back to
yeah.
Okay, so let me just put Dr. Yang on pin and yourself. So I'm going to ask two questions from my end, what I call the thematic questions, drawing from both of your very insightful and brilliant presentations. So the first one will be following on Professor Wang's highlights on collaboration. And then the second question will be on education and talent development. So the first question will be, what is an ideal production that you can foresee now in the future between the UK and China using this cloud-based virtual production technology? So what kind of genre, what kind of media production? It doesn't have to be film, so it can be maybe a reality show or media. So what kind of production, and which parts are done in the UK, which part will be done in China, and which specific roles will be UK talents and which specific roles will be Chinese talents, and how about the technology supply? So which very detailed technology supply will be provided by the UK side, and which part will be provided by Chinese side? So this is a question for Professor Wang. So first of all, what kind of ideal production that you can foresee maybe in 2 or 3 years' time, and how is it going to be operationalized?
I think that the dream collaboration is that we can create the story together, and we can share the talents together, and we can also apply the technology, synchronously, like though we are in different countries, but we can remote all the production, so we can produce, because all the stage of virtual production, the studio can allow you work together at a real time, right? So we can see the performance, we can I think we can do that together, and also we can share the market together. So yeah, I think that's kind of I'm imagine that we have a very great story. We can satisfy both countries' audience, and then we can catch their attention together. Seamlessly, right? And then for that kind of a dream, we definitely need to create together. So I can't say which part is this more stronger in UK or which part is more stronger in China. I think the ideal or the dream, the dream is just everything can be together and can shared, right? Not only between two countries, but in the future, probably globally, we can share the digital assets, and we can, based on the shared assets, we can do things together, right? I don't know whether I answer your question.
You do, yes, you do. But I'm trying to push more, push more for the details. So before the panel started, I think Dr. Yang and I was talking about in the future for project like that, hybrid projects, virtual plus real time and physical, and also cross-cultural and cross-territories, we will need a very strong role for project management or project facilitator. And this person needs to have very, very good knowledge into each department and also into the logistics of the facilitation and operation. But at the same time, I don't know how AI translation will be developed or how good it will be. So this person potentially, ideally, also need to be bilingual. So do you think there are people like that around at the moment who are, because this role is key, I think, for any successful production in the future. I think the technology is there now, the opportunity is there, the market is there, ready to invest. But this key role at the moment, I don't think it's been paid enough attention to. For example, maybe the pay won't be very high in China, or maybe in the UK side, they don't recognize this necessary role. So do you see that role being important too in supporting a successful production to happen?
Which role? I'm sorry, you specifically focus on which role you mean?
Project management.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
Production and also cross territories.
Right. I think everything. The contents is always the king. We say not the technology actually. I think, but when we are entering the time of virtual production, the way to create a story is also different. Right, as before, when you are a drama writer, a script writer, you can just work alone and then just think about the storyline and yeah. But now you need to have a brain of technology. You need to present that in a virtual environment to tell the story what it will be. So that's why I remember when professionals discuss about that, we say the pre-production. Now, actually, the pipeline is not like a pre-production, production, and post-production. Probably they are together. So the development of story will be the most important thing again. And so I think always in China nowadays, I think how to manage the process of story creation, that's very important. I think that's the most challenging thing is how to manage the cross-cultural communication, and also how to understand the each other's local cultural environment. Trying to create a story really can be appreciated by both countries. So if we can do this, I think technology is always kind of a supportive part for us, right? I don't know whether you agree with that. Yeah.
You're muted.
Can't hear.
So I do agree that technology sometimes helped and sometimes didn't, like interesting. But well, we are using a cross-cultural production now as a technology that the people use. Zoom, for example, is a cross-cultural collaboration. So Dr. Yang, would you like to add any comments on the question and the answers?
Probably uncontributed. There's an icon here.
Can you?
Okay. Cool. Excellent.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Would you like to make some comments?
No. I mean, there's an icon for my sound. Hello.
That's okay now.
Okay, it's good.
That's okay now. Yeah.
Okay. Probably
So
I think
that.
Okay, cool. Excellent. I think that there's probably because my background is technical side, so I guess the collaboration from UK side and China side, I think probably is one important kind of direction is on the kind of studio management, or maybe on the technical side because China have invested quite a lot on building up the infrastructures. the level, the quality of the infrastructure is super good. Some of the kind of studios kind of use this kind of highest quality of the kind of facilities in the world already. But the people manage everything, and the people will use that to produce the kind of highest level of kind of films is still kind of amazing the talent there. Okay, so I guess probably for the artist, okay, make an animation and probably kind of camera people, all these kind of small kind of roles. In China, there's a lot of people already doing that. Even for the special effects, there's a lot of people already doing that. But we do need kind of higher level talent to fill the gap. Some people can manage, some kind of a director, technical directors. That's the most important.
Yeah, technical director is a very good shout out, I think. Yeah. As you mentioned, China has many large size, talking about very big size studio, and they can easily, have one of the stages to become a virtual production studio, but it's the talent that are still missing there. So that leads to my second question then, for Dr. Yang. How do you see education like universities can catch up quickly to fill up the talent gaps, and how can universities work even more closely with the industry to produce not just a group of talents for a specific market, but for a group of talents who can work across different markets and have that kind of international perspective? Where are we at the moment in our curriculum, and how can we do better?
Probably I can talk a little bit, but just on the UK side. So there's something slightly different from the UK-China collaboration. From the UK side, our center have done kind of quite good work for the animation special effects in the last 30 years. So at the very beginning, you can see my slides. So we have feed a lot of kind of talented people into the UK industry. And our students, our alumni have contributed quite a lot to making some really big names of the movies. So even that, but we are currently, our team, we got about 30 staffs in our center. Half the team kind of technical side, half the team is kind of artist side. So we can work together harmonically. That's kind of magic. But our course actually is slightly different from the China side. Our degree education, not only teaching the theoretical stuff, but also there's a lot of practical stuff. So for example, for the undergraduate student, the first year is more theoretical. Second year, there's more kind of a practical stuff. Third year is more product oriented. So you can see, so the 3 years, we kind of leading the student gradually into the direction of the production, real productions. So when the student get finished our course, when they get to the job into the industry, they can working on the real product directly in the company. But even that, currently we still kind of redesign our course at the moment. But there's a kind of now I think the most popular role in the industry right now is the technical and artist kind of working together in the same role. So one people know artist and also know the technical side. So that's the reason we call it the technical art, the course. And also we are designing a new course, we are open new course right now from this September. I'm the course leader for that. It's called Artificial Intelligence for Media. So we're trying to train artists to know how to use AI to do media production. And for virtual production, actually, we are still at the stage of the course design. And the course design already finished, but currently we are on the stage of the kind of course approval from the university. So after that, I guess probably from next year, we will open new course for virtual production. Sorry, I'll pass on to Professor Wang.
And Professor, I also want to add some comments on that.
Yeah, I think this is quite a common, worry. I mean, about the future's talents. And I just want to share something. What we are doing in Shanghai, and I'm teaching virtual contents, right, production. So my pedagogy is like we provide kind of, we find or we work with the industry. So the industry will give us a real project, production project, and then we will just borrow kind of good case, best practice. Maybe that's another case, and then let the students understand how to integrate different technologies and what kind of technologies. Mostly, we are not doing single film production. We do some kind of immersive content or immersive experience Also, we will together work with some facilities together, like a virtual reality, the headset or something like that. So because they are having a real project, so they need to understand how these technologies are integrated together, and how hardware and the software are working together, and how to produce them really a final products we want. So our students are learning the process management, not really like they don't need to. Since our students, they have like a very different, very diversified bachelor degree background. So some even though we have MFA program as a master degree, they still are not from arts, like their bachelor degree probably nothing to do with arts. So in this case, what they can learn is the process management. It is the way to integrate, different technologies into one project. And they need to learn what kind of a technology, what kind of software, or what kind of an app, or what kind of a platform, or what kind of a team, and which company or which team they can co-work together. So I as a teacher, I mean, I don't expect them to do coding themselves, right? They don't need to do that, right? But they need to know which team is doing the best coding, which team and which company can help them. So that's the process management. This is probably our school is like a so-called cultural and creative industry, institute of the kind of industry. So I think as when you enter in the industry, you need to learn management. So I think that's a little bit different from Dr. Yang's pedagogy, right?
That's the perfect match, because if your students know how to manage and
Right.
the best technicians, then they can always go to Dr. Yang's institute to find the best talents for the specific.
Yeah.
We have opened up the space now. I think we're running a bit over time, but it's okay. I'm going to leave some time for the audience to ask any questions. So I know some of the audience is here. They are also in the industry, also in higher educations. For example, Seb, he's an animator, but he also teaches at the university. If you want to ask some questions or make any comments, but if you do have any question, please turn on your camera or your microphone. Feel free to join in. Very shy. Hey.
Hi. Yeah. I thought it was brilliant. I'm only a 2D animator though, so this goes way over my head. But I thought it was brilliant talking about the management skills and this sort of cross collaboration and how you can encourage the students to think bigger. So rather than just be thinking about producing or working as a technician, actually working as a manager and working upwards. So instilling that at a younger age, I think that's good for the industry. So that's all I've got to say at the moment. Thank you.
And what is the development for? Is there any development for VP at your university at the moment, or what do animators think about that new?
So I think there is a new course opening soon for VR, and there's a games course, and we use green screen technology with the animation course as well. I think kind of VP is sort of something that all universities should be getting into, but perhaps we're a little bit behind. But it's sort of that's not my department. I just draw pictures, so I'm interested to learn.
But drawing pictures are also quite important. I think it's the conceptual development part. I think illustration play a very important role in the very first stage before anything.
Yes, and I do think the point about story as well, and content is king, and being able to come up with good story is important as well.
Thank you.
Yes, can I add one thing? I think a virtual production can really help the story development. so that's why when you write, definitely you're a good writer, but you also need to learn how to use some simple application, I mean the technology, to visualize your story, to share your story, to share the final outcome, to visualize the final outcome using some very simple technology. That will be very helpful to share, share your story with all the different sectors. Let them understand what you are telling and what you want to perform at I mean finally. So I think this is a very good thing to help the storyteller, right?
Just to help Seth to shout out his project as well, he's developed a very good game, animation game, and it's been selling very well in Japan. And I think there's definitely an opportunity for that game to be virtualized in China, or at least to further commercialize. So please get in touch with him. He's a very, very good animator that I keep going back to for collaboration. And very great artist. And I've known for quite a while now. Several years.
Yeah, I think you're bigging me up a bit too much there, Hugh, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Seth. Okay, any other questions from our audience? From other audience? Which is great. Or if you don't feel comfortable turning on the camera, you can type them in the chat too. So I think we also have someone who is a script writer, I know. And then we have someone called Sarah. Let's go for Diego. I don't know if she's here. If not, then maybe we shall call it the end. And we have recorded the panel, so we are going to upload that to YouTube very soon for further circulation. And I do also think this recording would be a very good teaching content for any university or lecturer who would like to use it to prep the students for the future, and especially for the Chinese market too, particularly from the content shared by Professor Wang. I think many students, at least the students I teach, they have no idea what the Chinese market is like. I think some of the contents are very, very useful for them. At least I use the recording for my own teaching next term. So I would like to say thank you very much for both our panelists today, Professor Wang and also Dr. Yang, coming to join our panel. Thank you very much. And hope to see you both soon. And we hope to visit Shanghai very, very soon. We can't wait.
Definitely, yeah. Welcome. Look forward. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.